about the differences between Pilates and yoga. Do I have a favorite? Actually, I do have a favorite, I will admit. I absolutely adore and love teaching Pilates more than yoga, but that is only because of the kind of clients that we serve at the studio. So for us, we have a lot of older people, so maybe 50 and above, 60 and above. Nowadays, that's not even old, is it? So we tend to have a lot of retired people that come to the studio, and just because of the issues that we tend to develop as we get older, maybe arthritis, all those kinds of aging things, Pilates is just more beneficial for people with those kinds of things, in my opinion. Whereas I find yoga is quite fast. Well, it doesn't have to be fast, but there's a lot of downward dogs, a lot of unnecessarily weight on the arms. I mean, who wants to be hanging upside down at that age? Unless you're on a chandelier with a bottle of champagne. So, just for me personally, I just find I feel like it's a lot more beneficial for people. And even so, sometimes I get someone new to the studio and I'll ask them, what do you want to do, Pilates or yoga? And they'll go do yoga, and I'll say why, and they'll go, I have a bad back. I'm like, no, do Pilates. So it's just a lot more spine focused Pilates. It's a lot more posture focused. It's really about strengthening the joints. Like, the more strength we can have around the joint so that we can move inside of the joint, the more freer that joint will be. Whereas yoga doesn't really focus on that as such. Okay, so ideally, in an ideal world, if you could do both, that would be the best. Because what Pilates doesn't offer, yoga does. So like a lot of balance work, a lot more strength work in yoga. There's probably a lot more well-being, mindfulness kind of stuff. It's a little bit deeper depending on what teacher you have. And then Pilates is a lot more core focused, spine focused. I want to say abdominal focused, but that I would include that around here. But Pilates is a lot more, to me personally, Pilates is a lot more education about your body. Again, it depends what classes you go to. If you're ever going to go, like in the studio, we're all about educating people so that they can look after themselves outside of the studio, and they can age well, and they can stay as young as their physical body will allow them as they get older. Whereas another teacher's goal might just be giving you the hardest abdominal workout that you can get in an hour. It depends on the teacher, okay? But for us personally, we're all about education and, you know, looking after you, making sure you're safe, and helping you to look after your own bodies as you get older. Yoga is probably a lot more standing style exercises. It's a lot more, again, depends on the teacher. It can be a lot more spiritual. Whereas yoga, Pilates tends to be all mat based, either on the back, the side, the front. So those are kind of the differences. They are so different, so you really do need to experience the two to feel the difference. Yoga is a lot more breath focused, you know, breathing in, hands up, exhale, hands down. It's a lot more breath aligned, whereas yes, there's a lot of reference to breath in Pilates, but actually your body will naturally want you to breathe a certain way in Pilates anyway. So I suppose I don't really want to go too in depth with it. This is the easy peasy bit. It's just, it depends what your goal is. You know, if you've got a bad back, if you've got sciatica, if you've got anything like that, I would highly recommend you veer to Pilates. If you haven't really got any physical issues as such, and you want more stress relief, mental well-being, then I would say yoga. But Pilates is still very mindful because you're just focusing on what's going on inside of your body. You know, sometimes I'll get someone that wants to come and do a Pilates class, a yoga class, and they are ridden with arthritis in their wrists, and it's like, really? Or they've got a knee replacement and they can't lean on their knee. I'm like, unless you're going to do yin yoga, which we will cover in the yoga side, I wouldn't remember what video I'm doing. There are some kinds of yoga which you could get away with arthritis and stuff, but for most yoga classes, I wouldn't suggest a yoga class for someone that is ridden with arthritis and knee issues and hip issues and back issues. I would say Pilates is definitely the way to go. Pilates is more of a rehab style exercise, so you might find often if we've had people that's been to physio, they're like, oh, they're going for Pilates exercises. So it's a lot more about rehabilitation and being safe for Pilates classes. So what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? And that will probably guide you into, I wouldn't say dictate, but it won't dictate. It will guide you to which one you should try. But like I said, if it is possible, try both, because doing both of them is far more beneficial. I hope that was helpful. I went off on a tangent there. Take care. Bye.